My youngest son, Cooper Eisen, is sitting here for this Friday. Your last day before you go back to school next week, huh?
Yeah, this is the last weekday before I go to school.
And that's how he's spending it, at work with Dad.
How about that, though?
I like it.
Yeah. Vilma texting me this morning. She's like, she told me to tell you how much am I getting paid. It's fun. This is just fun to do. This is fun to talk about
Coop,
sports.
it's a valid question now.
No,
yeah,
but
it's just fun to talk about sports. You guys are great people, and this is a great show.
That's so
Coop,
sweet.
That sounds great, but being great don't pay the bills.
No, here's
baby.
the thing.
You gotta talk to your dad.
Excuse me. We negotiated
I was
this
just gonna say,
earlier.
you have a handshake
Okay,
deal?
now you can't go somewhere else and ask for this. We have a handshake agreement. Does all of this sound familiar to you, Dallas Cowboy fans?
Was his agent with him?
Okay.
Was Miss Schuster involved in
we
this?
had a handshake agreement. You don't just renege on that. You're gonna play on your last year of your contract. I've got the Jones. I've got the Jones.
Last day of his contract.
Joining us here on the program, I am a huge fan of the way he calls football games, and I'm thrilled to get on this program. Jonathan Vilma of Fox Sports and a Super Bowl champion. Good to see you, Jonathan Vilma. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Clearly not as good as Cooper.
What do you think of his negotiating skills, Jonathan?
Pretty good.
Okay.
As soon as we get some underhanded deals going between you and him, then I know.
No. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's just great to do this.
No, it's okay.
I mean, I'm not working each week like Micah Parsons is.
Oh, look at you. Okay, very good. Before we jump into the news of the day, Jonathan, let's go back in the day. Your team in 2000 at the U, okay? Reggie Wayne's on it, right? Santana Moss is on it. Andre Johnson's on it. You're on it. Shockey's on it. Clinton Portis is on it. Ed Reed's on it. I mean, holy crap! What a way for you to enter collegiate football, Jonathan.
Yeah, and right? you're still missing a couple guys. You got Dan Morgan,
that's right,
winner. We had Clinton Portis. We had Frank Gore. I mean, we had a pretty solid squad.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's an understatement right there. Oh,
my God. So what was it like for you? How old were you, 18? Coming out of Coral Gables?
Yeah, I was 18. So I'll tell you what it was like for me. The first day I showed up, by the way, I was a full 6 feet, 195 pounds soaking wet. Right. And back then I was running like a 4.8. So I still don't even know how I made it to D1 football, but that's another story. So I go, and my first day working out, I'm seeing all the freshmen coming in, and I see DJ Williams, who was the #1 recruit in the nation, the only player John Madden said could go from high school straight to the NFL because he was so gifted athletically. I see our other linebacker, Darryl McClover. He looked like he was just made in a lab. He was 6'2", 230, 5% body fat, just shredded. Then I see Willis McGahee, who's 6'1". He's 240 pounds. So we go through workouts, and I'm like, I cannot believe how much bigger and faster everyone is. So I called my dad afterwards. My dad, obviously, he wanted to know how everything was going. And so I called him, and he's like, so, how'd it go, son? And I was like, I don't know, Dad. I think I made the wrong decision. He's like, what? Seriously? I was like, Dad, they're so big. They're so fast. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do here. And he was like, well, don't worry, son. Just keep working hard. Just keep going. And, and things will work out. And I was like, okay, all right. So, long story short, man, the athleticism was there. The competitive nature was there. And there was no middle ground. You either made it or you didn't, right? It was sink or swim, right? And so, I fought, competed, and ended up, being part of one of the best teams. End up being part of the best team in college football.
I mean, and then you wound up being a 12th overall pick in the NFL draft. But I'm just curious, like, what'd you pick up from somebody like Ed Reed at such a young age, early on in your football life?
Man. Good question, Rich.
Thank you, sir.
Ed Reed taught me the most football at that time of any player.
No kidding.
So I had Dan Morgan was a senior when I was a freshman, and he taught me what it was to work and what a real work ethic is. Like he literally threw up in a game on the field and kept playing. They had to force him off the field. And that's how I would get in the game. And I ended up getting freshman All-American. But Ed Reed, he was so smart, and he would always just throw little nuggets at me. And he would say little things like, hey, John, you got a 3.5, right? Yeah, I got a 3.5. Okay. How come you didn't know that formation they were going to run a tight end 7? I was like, I don't know. I'm lost for words, right? And then he's like, come on, man, You're smart. Man, you should know on this formation, that's all they did when you watch film, that he's going to run a 7. So I'm 18 years old, and I'm starting to pick all of this up from Ed Reed. And I'm saying, man, football, and he would always say, trust me, right? So I started to watch more film with him. I started to understand how to watch film. And because of him, I became so smart as a football player. By my junior year, it was like slow motion, right? I'm playing the game. I can see it. I can see the formations. I can see the routes. I can see the tendencies. And it was really because of him that I was able to just frankly look faster, quicker, more explosive than I really was, because I knew what plays were coming.
Jonathan, when I hosted the NFL 100 all-time team at NFL Films, and I'm there with Chris Collinsworth, and Bill Belichick was one of the analysts as well, the players that would come in and be in-studio guests, some of the all-time greats, right? Brady, Lawrence Taylor, Mean Joe Green, just to name 3, Ray Lewis. And the only player that he invited to come up and be with him at his telestrator for his telestrator segment was Ed Reed. He adored Ed Reed, still does, obviously, for just the fact that it struck me that of all the players that he and Brady were game planning against through all those years, Ed was the one that maybe challenged him the most, because he was the smartest and the best. I mean, without a doubt. You know,
it's not even close, Rich. Right? The best, the smartest.
Right.
And the thing about Ed was that he was very, very relatable. So you wanted to play up to his standards. Like I felt bad as a sophomore. We won the national championship, and I'm feeling bad in certain games because I'm not playing up to his standards. And when you have a guy like that who set the example in the film room, set the example on the field, I mean, he was by far the best leader I had been around. Obviously, I can't say the best player. I can say one of the best players because we had so many great ones. But man, we're still good friends today. And he taught me so much football. He is awesome. Awesome guy.
I agree. Jonathan Vilma here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's talk about the here and now. One of the teams that I keep hearing about as don't overlook them, I can't even say they're a sleeper team anymore because their bandwagon appears to be full, is the Denver Broncos. And you obviously know Sean Payton very well, won a Super Bowl with him. What he's built in Denver so quickly with Bo Nix after creating Russell Wilson becoming the biggest dead cap hit in the history of the NFL is nothing short of remarkable. What's he cooking? What do you like? What is he selling that you think that the Broncos are buying from your knowledge of what Sean Payton does to put a team together, Jonathan?
So let's take a step back.
Sure.
If you remember, the players when Sean first got there, they were actually reporting him to the NFLPA because they were saying he was practicing too hard. Practices were too long, and it was just a matter of time until they started to buy in. So why did they buy in? Well, I'm a firm believer, as he did with the Saints, you are coaching the best of the best. We're all competitors, and we want to be challenged. The really, really good players, the real competitors, the true champions, they want to be challenged day in and day out. And Sean Payton always recognized that. It was less about, okay, how talented is the player? It was more about what is his makeup? What is his pedigree? Where did he come from? Is he going to respond to me challenging him? And so when Sean Payton gets to Denver, what you have is a culture shock. And he knew that his way works, right? He was under Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells had a ton of success. He would still talk to Parcells on a weekly basis, even when he was with the Saints. And so I always remembered when he would potentially bring in a free agent, He would ask me, he would ask Drew Brees, he would ask some of the older veterans, hey, I'm bringing in this guy. Have you heard of him? What do you think about him? Do you think he's a good fit? Is he going to fall in line with our culture? So now at Denver, it took a little bit, took an adjustment, but what he did was change the culture. And then naturally, you start to see the winning happen. The reason you see the winning happen is because, again, forget athleticism for a second. You have discipline, you have toughness. You have guys that are holding each other accountable. You have guys that don't make mental errors. So now it becomes less about winning the game. They're just doing their part not to lose the game. Let the other team mess it up. Let the other team turn the ball over. Let the other team have mental errors and busts, etc. So now you bring in a Bo Nix. Bo Nix only knows Sean Payton's way, right? That he comes in, he's being coached tough. He responds to it. He's gotten better as the season went on last year. So you have a player in Bo Nix that now falls in line with this culture. The defense is outstanding. Vance Joseph is doing an awesome job with that defense. And then you tell Bo Nix, hey, look, you don't have to be the man. You're not Drew Brees, and I'm not trying to coach you to be Drew Brees. I want you to be disciplined. I want you to make the right decisions. I want you to take care of the football, and eventually you will lead this team. And that's why everyone is starting to jump on the bandwagon, because you can see from just watching it, your eyes are telling you this is good football. This is a team that plays hard. They get after it. They may not win every game, but they're going to give you everything they have. And now we're looking at Bo Nix. We're looking at the continuity to say, well, okay, he had a good year last year. He should get better this year. And if that's the case, those games that they lost by 3 points or to Cincinnati Bengals late in the season, they should win those games with Bo Nix making a play or two that they need him to do down the stretch.
Mm-hmm. Jonathan, Vilma, your advice to Micah Parsons if he called you up right now and say, what do you think? Knowing what you see publicly, obviously, between he and the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, what would the advice be for him?
My advice for Micah Parsons right now, first, let me say I've not been in that situation before.
Okay.
If I were in that situation, I would still handle everything behind closed doors. I've never been a fan of airing out the dirty laundry. So my advice for Micah Parsons, I get it, it's a business, but no one wins in the court of public opinion, right? Everyone's going to have their stance, and really he can't measure how people are going to respond to what he says publicly. So I would keep everything quiet behind closed doors. He is the best player, the best defensive player in all of the NFL. He will get paid. If it's not from Jerry Jones, it will be from somebody. And you know what? Go out, just handle your business, right? I remember Dak Prescott, they tried many times to kind of nudge Dak about, hey, you haven't gotten paid yet. You're not getting paid, et cetera. What's going on? And Dak just kept it professional, stayed quiet, and eventually he did get paid, right? So I look at that and I get it. It can be very frustrating. You're the best player and you're seeing other people getting paid and it's not you. But there's no need to air the dirty laundry. No one wins in that regard.
Yeah, I know. I think it's going to be at least next week. We're going to get of just being another week of treading water and no change, and it's going to be the proverbial what cutting time once Labor Day's through, and a plane flight on Wednesday before the season. Does he get on that plane or not? Like that's literally the way it kind of looks right now, Jonathan.
Yeah, and if I'm the head coach, I'm extremely frustrated, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's hard enough to win. Let's just talk about the NFC East for a second,
sure.
Right? You have the reigning Super Bowl champion. You have a Jaden Daniels who looks like he's going to be a phenom for many, many years to come. You have the Giants who are trying to figure it out, but always have a solid defense. So you're right now on your best day without any distractions, right? If Micah Parsons were there, you're still right now third best in your division, and somehow you got to make it out of that division, get to the playoffs, and then hopefully make a run for the Super Bowl. So if I'm Schottenheimer, I'm so frustrated because it's hard enough to win in this league. It's hard enough to win in our division. And yet my best player, I can't get on the field because there's all these distractions except for what really needs to happen, which is us figuring out how to win games, right? And so that I don't know their relationship, Jerry Jones and Schottenheimer, but I know that I would have some frank conversations because I need to get to winning football games. We're in the business of winning. That's the NFL. And if I don't have my best players, I don't know how you expect me to go out there, coach, and win a couple games. As I said, how am I going to beat the Commanders? We'll play them twice. How am I going to beat the Eagles? Play them twice. And then get to the playoffs. How am I going to make a real run in the playoffs if I don't have my best guys? You got to have them. So, that's where, if I'm the head coach right now, if I'm the team, the organization, frustration lies in that regard because you can't win with all these distractions. It's too tough.
It's you and Kenny Albert again this year? In the booth,
you know it. Okay. Kenny's my guy, man.
Great. Listen, I mean, he's from broadcasting royalty.
Yes.
Do you know what's your week one assignment? Where are you going to be?
You know what? Week one, we have the Bucks at the Falcons.
Oh, okay. Now, I mean, like that is. Listen, the week one games are it's a heck of a schedule. But that Bucks Falcons game is definitely a marquee game that's as under the radar as a marquee game can get. Because, with all due respect to Carolina and, your former place of business, these are the two teams that we believe are contenders for that division. And they do not like each other. And it's in Atlanta. And it's Michael Penix getting his first career week one start. And it's Baker and that team that Jason Light keeps bringing back, and improving. That's a great one, man. That's a really great one.
You didn't even mention the coaches and their pedigree.
That's right.
The defenses, right?
Raheem Morris from there, right? I mean, that's a former place of business for him.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good one. Very, very excited for that. Love watching Bijan Robinson. I think he's coming into his own as well. So that'll be a great matchup week one.
And then week two, do you know where you're going there? What do you got?
Week two, I have the Bears at the Lions.
Oh, look at you. These are great games, man.
Yeah,
and so what's your level of expectation for Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson, who's returned to Detroit? You just mentioned you're going to be calling. That's a pretty big one right there, sure.
Yes. My level of expectation, if Caleb Williams doesn't make the Pro Bowl, he's a Pro Bowl alternate. That's my expectation.
Wow.
Ben Johnson is a phenomenal coach. And he has inherited he has one of the best arms I've seen in the past 15, 20 years, Caleb Williams. I mean, he can absolutely sling it. His athletic ability is off the charts. When you talk to him, very smart, very intelligent, and he understands how to win games. And so Ben Johnson coming in, being as good of a coach as he was with Jared Goff and what he did with that offense, it was almost an instant turnaround, right? When he stepped in as an offensive coordinator. I am really excited for Caleb Williams, really excited to see him excel. And we're going to be talking about how great of an arm he has, what great of a quarterback he is. And at some point, then he turns into that leader that the Bears need him to be. So he's going to be a Pro Bowl or a Pro Bowl alternate.
All right, last one for you here, Jonathan. I could talk ball with you all day. Is the biggest threat to the Eagles in the conference, if not the entire league? Lay it on me here.
Entire league?
Well, you'll start with the conference and go in the entire league.
Okay. So let's go in the conference. The biggest threat in the conference will be the NFC North winner.
Okay.
The NFC North winner, I'm going with Detroit Lions. I like Green Bay. I like Green Bay a lot, actually. I like them a lot. I like Minnesota too, but Love turns the ball over a little too much for me. And I'm a defensive guy, right? So my thing is punt is always the best option. Don't throw the ball in harm's way. So I believe the Lions, the culture that Dan Campbell has set there, the way they take the ball away, the way that they can run the ball, the athletes they have on the offensive side, they're going to win. And that's going to be the biggest threat to the Eagles because you can, with the Eagles, they're a very good team. Offensive line is good. I like Jalen Hurts. But when you look at Dan Campbell and the toughness that he brings, not saying the Eagles aren't tough. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that it's going to be a dogfight. And I just mentioned that the Lions, they're very good at taking the football away. Really, really good. If you can neutralize that Eagles defensive line with the offensive line of the Lions, Goff has seen it all. He knows how to get the ball out quickly. Amon-Ra is really great with the intermediate routes and the option routes. So I look at that matchup whenever it comes. Hopefully we're playing this back, 5 months from now, and it does happen. I would see the Lions being the biggest threat to the Eagles.
And in the entire league, I guess you want to throw the AFC out there before I let you go, Jonathan?
Yeah, let's throw the AFC out there. In the entire league,
you got the Bills, you got the Chiefs again, you got whoever wins you get the Ravens, and the Texans are sitting there. Those are just, I guess, the main contenders.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm going to hold on that. I'm not going to mention anybody in the entire league. And the reason why, all the teams you mentioned, I believe the Lions can beat. So if you ask me Chiefs Lions matchup, who wins, I'm going to say Lions. Bills Lions, I'm going to say Lions. Right? Ravens Lions, I'm going to say Lions. And so if the Eagles can get over the hump of the NFC and the winner of the NFC North, in this scenario being the Lions, then they win it all like they did last year.
Jonathan, thanks for the time. Again, I'm a fan of the way you call games. I really enjoy it. You make me smarter. The listen with you and Kenny is fantastic. You've seen some crazy-ass games, too. My gosh. You got a touch of the Gus Johnson in you, man. There's some crazy stuff happens when you – right? Wasn't that the way the Patriots lost? The way that they threw it across the field for an interception? Right?
So I was going to bring it up, right?
Right.
That was so funny. Like that clip went viral. I said maybe like 4 things, nothing of substance.
I know you were like, just couldn't believe it. You were all of us, Jonathan. I mean, it was a human reaction. I mean, that was wild. And now I think Jacoby Myers plays for the Raiders. So we'll see if he can catch some touchdowns for him instead of throwing the other way. Good to see you, Jonathan. Thanks for the time.
You too, Rich. Take it easy. Cooper, have fun until you have to go to school.
That's right. Yeah, a little shout out. Jonathan Vilma gets a Coop. You got a shout out from Jonathan Vilma right there, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.